This episode is brought to you by Metal Central.
Metal Central, located in Jasper, is your source for metal roofing that lasts a lifetime. Metal Central also offers metal building packages, custom trim, doors, and more to complete any job. Call Metal Central for a quote today. 205-385-7575. That's 205-385-7575.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of the Game Managers Podcast where we talk Alabama and Auburn and SEC football every week. My name is Nick Norris. I'm a sports writer for a number of websites, and with me, as always, are my great friends, Auburn fan Justin Knight.
What's up, guys?
And Alabama fan Aaron Patterson.
Hello.
All right, guys, happy Thanksgiving, because this is coming out on Thanksgiving.
And let's just go ahead and throw out there that you don't even like Thanksgiving, so I don't know why you're saying Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving hater.
Yeah,
that's
so
complete slander.
Happy
love
Thanksgiving,
the holiday of Thanksgiving
coming from me and Aaron, because we love Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving.
I love
food.
Thanksgiving.
I don't know about that.
That sounds like exactly what someone who hates Thanksgiving would say.
How will you guys be celebrating? Eating food, watching the Macy's Day Parade, watching the dog show, watching football? What are you going to be doing? Just eating.
We'll watch. I'll wake up, probably watch the parade, and then we'll head over to the Malls, and we'll eat some good food and watch some NFL football.
I got 3 Thanksgiving dinners this year I'll be attending.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so both sides of my parents and my girlfriend.
Yeah, the only reason he's going to all 3 is to wreck them because he hates Thanksgiving.
He's just going to dog on Thanksgiving.
He's a Thanksgiving dinner crasher.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to say that me and Aaron have a very key fantasy matchup this week. It will determine if we make the playoffs or not. So.
Yeah, I think I'm done for already.
Well, if you beat me, you'll have the tiebreaker over me. So.
Well, you guys remind us to remember to talk about that next week after the results.
I'll let you know.
So this will be a special Iron Bowl preview episode. We're going to have Auburn linebacker Carlos Rogers and Alabama receiver Chad Keon.
Do you mean defensive back?
Yes, I do.
What did you say?
He said linebacker.
Oh.
Let's just say it again.
Sorry, okay? Okay, Justin, we're sorry.
I mean,
people make mistakes, man.
It would help
it's
if
okay.
he wasn't an idiot.
You know what's not okay? Hating Thanksgiving.
Well, I will agree with you on that.
Let's get back on track here.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
All right, well, what about the Iron Bowl? How are y'all going to be celebrating that?
Watching and eating.
We'll be watching and eating.
Once again.
Y'all be hosting any parties?
No.
No?
That will be wrecking other people's parties.
I'll probably have my girlfriend over. So.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be my birthday game, baby. Can't wait for y'all to take me out and buy me something really expensive, like an iPhone.
Yeah.
All the hard work I do for this podcast, I think I deserve a present from you guys.
That depends on how bad we win or lose. How much we win by or how bad we lose.
Fair enough. Well, up top, I want to talk about something a little controversial. So the Iron Bowl hasn't been played in Birmingham for a long time now, so why is it still called the Iron Bowl?
Oh, gosh.
Why
are we even talking about this?
that at all?
Would you guys be down for changing the name, or you say just keep it?
No, it needs to stay the same.
What would you change it to?
Yeah.
I don't know. You change it just back to the Alabama-Auburn game. That's what it used to be.
No, that's stupid.
Yeah, the Iron Bowl sounds cool.
Yeah.
Iron Bowl does sound cool. Change it to what's something that represents Alabama well? Sweet Tea Bowl.
No. Okay, everybody calm down.
How about the Inbred Bowl?
No.
That's pretty good. I vote for that one.
That's not good. That's not good at all. I don't know who would ever even say that was
Crystal
good.
Meth Bowl.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good one.
Yeah.
We got a lot of that down in Alabaster, so.
What about the location? Would y'all like to see it return to Birmingham at any point?
No.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
No.
I think it'd be cool when they get the new stadium open to host one.
No.
It won't happen. But
I like it how it is right now.
play in Georgia and Alabama at home every other year.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, well let's lay the framework for this episode and this game coming up. So Gus is likely coaching for his job, at least to an extent. Bama's fighting for a hopeful playoff berth. Tua's out. Bo is still pretty inexperienced, and the game is back on the plains. Alabama's a 3.5-point favorite. So let's start out with our confidence levels. Aaron, you're the Bama fan out of 100%. What is your confidence level in the Tide coming out with a win?
Out of 100 would be probably 60%.
60%. Justin, how about for the Tigers?
I'd say right at 50.
50-50.
50-50.
Well, the ESPN matchup predictor gives Alabama a 65.7% chance, which I think is about right, but maybe a little
That's
high.
fair.
I'd say closer to 60.
I
Mhm.
think that's fair.
If it wasn't at Jordan Hare, I'd be feeling a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't. Alabama would be favored by more points, and I wouldn't feel. I'd probably be at like 30%.
Well, how about we break down things from Auburn's perspective first? So, Justin, what about this matchup do you like for Auburn?
Oh well, I love that Mac Jones is playing at quarterback,
It's helpful.
and the teams he's played against this year are Western Carolina, right?
Mhm.
Mississippi State,
Played a half against them, produced 3
Yep.
points.
and then who was the other team he played against?
Arkansas.
Arkansas. So
Arkansas.
I would say I feel pretty good in that sense, in that he hasn't played anybody close to Auburn's defense. So I know we'll have a good game plan for him. We'll make him feel pressured, and I know we'll have, as long as we get him in the third and long situations, I feel very good, because I feel like we can force some turnovers. Now, where I don't feel good is what in the world is the offense going to. I know Alabama's defense isn't as good as it usually is, but our offense can't move the ball diddly squat, so it doesn't matter what defense we're playing.
How important is establishing a rushing game in this
Oh.
game, you think?
Well, like I said, I think I said this earlier in the season, when Auburn rushes for over like 120 yards, they've only lost like 2 times. So if we can rush for over 130 yards, I feel like we'll be in a good spot. And it's just, we have to put Bo Nix in third and shorts. We can't go in third and longs, because we're not going to be able to. We don't have good passing plays for third and long, and I don't really trust Bo Nix on those downs. So if we can get some good rushing plays on first down, to where we're helping him out and he can make easier throws, I think that'll definitely help us out.
Well, Aaron, we're going to talk in a little bit about how you think Mac will handle this atmosphere, but how do you think Bo will handle it?
I mean, he's played his best at home. I mean, against Georgia, he wasn't anything special. I mean, his one turnover was fumbling the ball, and that kind of killed the drive. But I think playing Georgia at home helped him. But once again, it's just going to come down to what kind of play calls is he going to get. You know, what is Gus going to do to put him in the best situation where he doesn't have to do it all by himself? What is he going to do to use the other players on the offensive side to help him out and actually call a good game?
Yeah, I think that they need to have a set identity going in, because I don't think they've had one all season. And I
No,
think
they
they're gonna
haven't,
have to
because
stick to it.
I mean, I know Georgia has a great rush defense, but we can't throw the ball 50 times in a game.
No.
That's not who we are. I mean, we just got to be more creative on the run side.
There's very few teams that can do that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. I mean, Alabama could do that just with how good when y'all had Tua and the wide receivers y'all have. And LSU, they throw the ball all the time. They can do that. But yeah, I mean, a true freshman quarterback throwing the ball 50 times against a top Georgia defense, you're not going to win. And to think, I mean, we're still in the game, but that's just because of our defense. So, We'll just see what happens. We got to have a run game, because if we don't, you forget about it.
Well, this one's for both of y'all. But how many points do you think the defense have to hold Bama to? At what point is it out of hand?
It's 21.
21. I was going to say
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
I don't see them scoring more than 24.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 24 as well. That's about right.
That's what worries me, is that the offense is going to have a bunch of 3-and-outs, and the defense is going to be out there way too long. And, I mean, no matter who's at quarterback, the defense is going to break down at some point when they're on the field that long.
Yeah.
So, that's just what worries me. That's why it's 50-50. What we need is a defensive touchdown, and I'll feel great.
Well, here's something that might worry you, too. If the game comes down to a field goal,
No.
is Gus going to put Anders Carlson out there? Or is he just gonna go for it if it's 4th and 5?
I hope both of them go
on
for it.
on the 25. 4th and 5 on the 25.
4th and 5 on the 25. How much time is left?
1 second.
1 second. I mean, well, okay. So is it a tie game?
Yes. No. He's down by 1.
Oh, you can't go for that. You have to kick the field goal. 1 second left.
Yeah, but it's Anders Carlson.
I know he's 9 of 25 for 40
You're at home.
So
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, you have to kick it, but
Yeah.
my confidence level in him making it is below 1%. So now I know how y'all feel.
Yeah, right.
It sucks.
I don't want to kick it either.
Yeah, I know y'all don't want to either.
I'd rather just take a chance on a slant. I'd say, hey, we're gonna run 4 slants right here. Let's line up and let's run it.
If it was tied, I'd want him to
tell
go
the
for
defense
it.
there. I'd tell the defense that and still just run a slant. I'd have more faith.
Yeah, if it was tied, I would want.
What
him
if
to
it's
go
from
for
the
it.
35?
The 35?
Yeah,
1
so he's
second
kicking
left
it
and
from
we're
like
down
a 40,
1.
whatever. Yeah.
That would be a 52-yarder. Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
1 second.
Now I want to know.
It's 4th and 3. 1 second.
I mean, you have to do a Hail Mary to the end zone.
Yeah, so I guess the down doesn't matter anyways. But
Yeah. I mean, you still got to kick it.
he doesn't sound happy about it though.
I would like to know what his statistics are from 50-plus, because I know that's got to be way worse. I don't even know if he might have made
Does
like
he have
one.
any attempts?
He does, and I think he's made like 1. I'd like
Good
to
on him.
Yeah, I'd like to find it.
Well, like we said, we're going to talk to Carlos Rogers here. We actually talked to him on Sunday. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
So we will go ahead and insert that right here.
We're here again with Carlos Rogers, former defensive back and Jim Thorpe Award winner. Carlos, the last time we spoke to you, you were on the way back from the golf course. Have you been on the green any since then?
Yeah, I went the other day.
Did you?
I went 2 days ago, yeah. This weather been crazy, so I've been in the house most of the time.
You just been having to watch it on TV.
Right.
Well, as you know, the Iron Bowl is this weekend. You played in this series from 2001-2004, winning 3 of those 4 matchups. What is it about the Iron Bowl that makes it different from other college football atmospheres?
I think it's just the in-state rivalry. I mean, families split during this game. Wives don't talk to husbands. Parents don't talk to kids. It's just so much tradition there with that game. And then you just throw the records out. It doesn't matter the record most of the time with these games right here, because the in-state rivalry is so big that you can be winning up to the last second and kick a field goal. The next thing you know, you're losing. So the rivalry and the intensity of this game the whole week. And not only that, coaches can get fired over this game. So it's so much riding on this game and tradition, and you know how much fun it is for these players to play in this game and the excitement of the fans. So it's everybody has ties to this game, not only the people that play, the fans too.
So what are some challenges this game brings that the other regular season games do not?
Challenges? It probably just depends. It probably depends on each season. Like I said, you can throw out the records. That's number one. So you can't come in talking about Alabama number one or number two or whatever their record is. Or Auburn is ranked this, and Alabama is down this year. So I think that's a challenge in its own. Not looking at the record of the opponent and thinking that you're gonna go in there, it's gonna be a cakewalk or it's gonna be an automatic win. So I think that's a big challenge for the players. I think just staying in the moment, knowing that it is another game, it's a rivalry, but at the same time, you can't get overexcited as a player and get outside of your responsibility for this week. I think those are big challenges for the players, and then just putting pressure on yourself. I mean, it's football. You don't play football. You don't play Alabama so many times. If you have it your first year, it's still football. You just got to focus in what you got on your assignment and play football. Yep.
Can you tell us some of your most memorable Iron Bowl moments?
For me, I think the most one is probably, I would say, the year that we didn't have Carnell and Ronnie. And I know we was expected to lose that game, dealing with coming out to our third string running back. And he played a phenomenal game, and we was able to get that victory. And that was probably one of the most exciting moments of my time. My freshman year, I really didn't know how big the game was because I'm a Georgia guy. So for me, the big rivalry for me is Georgia. I want to beat them so bad because I got so many family members pulling for them. I'm from Georgia, friends pulling for them. So I didn't understand how big the rivalry was my freshman year. That's the year that we lost. After that, I understood how important this was. I think they was talking about Coach Tubb getting fired my second year, especially if we didn't win that game. So it was like, wow, just, we playing all right, and the coaches still get fired. So I think for me, with that game right there, especially our senior year, capping off our season to a 13-0 victory. At that time, we was going to be 11-0 at that time. So that was real big for us, especially our seniors. So I think, just capping that off my senior year was real big.
Well, your senior year, that was also the year you brought Auburn its first Jim Thorpe Award, and that was the Iron Bowl was played in Tuscaloosa that year, but you guys survived 21-13. How difficult is it to play in this rivalry game on the road?
It's difficult because so many of their fans, but we have fans too. So you kind of feel at home, but you don't feel at home. But like I said, the intensity of that game is like, I probably have to compare that to the Super Bowl that I played in San Fran against Baltimore. That intensity of that game right there, you're kind of nervous. You're excited. You don't want to mess up. You don't want to embarrass yourself. But also you want to make a play to stand out. So it's so many emotions goes into your game, that game, especially on the road too, when everybody's pulling for them. We still have a lot of fans, but it's not like a home game.
Do you think hosting the game at Jordan-Hare this weekend will be a big factor in the outcome, and how do you think it'll really affect Mac Jones?
It will be a big outcome because, like I said, that's a rivalry game, and we got our fans travel well with us, especially they do come and support our team at home. So it'll be big for the crowd to get into it. For him to have a lot to play for, especially with their season, right there where they standing at in the playoffs. So I'm pretty sure things like that will be on his mind. I'm pretty sure he'll hear all the people talking about it and what he need to do to win this game to help their playoffs chance. So it's going to be real big for him. I think our team will be up for the challenge no matter, like I said, no matter where our record at. Those guys are going to get up for that game. And, hopefully our D-line can get after him, mess up their offense and their timing, and we can come out with a victory.
So when we talked earlier in the season, you were impressed with Bo's confidence and composure. So in what ways do you think he's matured over the season?
I think he still has that confidence. I think with him, he does a lot of good things. He also do some things that's bad, like what Bo doing. But you also should expect that as a freshman quarterback. You got to take the good with the bad. He's gonna make throws in the Oregon game like, okay, we got something special here. But he also gonna go to a place, an environment like Florida, and miss wide open receiver. You like, come on, Bo, that's a routine throw. But like I said, you got to take the good and the bad with a freshman. I think he's gonna play real good for the upcoming years that he has there. I think that we got a future quarterback. I think that the offensive coordinators or whoever called the plays got to put him in great situations too. Yep. But he can get the ball out of his hand quick. I seen where they did some zone reading against Georgia that looked like he had a good rhythm, and then you could take your shots. So I think, along with coaches helping him out, bringing him along, and instilling that confidence in him, because he looked like he got a lot of confidence. He can make all the throws, but it's going to come with being a quarterback, playing not only good at home, but he has to learn how to play good on the road, especially in the SEC.
Well, like you said, this offense has struggled at times this year. When facing a team like Alabama that typically produces a lot of points, what do you think this Auburn offense needs to do to consistently find the end zone?
Try to find a way to run the ball. Keep their offense off the field. Even though they don't got Tula, they got an explosive offense. They got 3 wide receivers this year that's probably going to go in the first round. They got another one if he leaves would probably, go in the second round. So their offense is explosive. What I think we need to do is run the ball. Put Bo in good situations where he can make quick throws, and it doesn't matter if it's a 5-yard pass here, 4-yard pass here. You'll take 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 5 any day, because that balances out the offense, that put the defense in a difficult situation where you can pass and run. I think the defense gonna have to, they're gonna have to step up a lot, even more than they have been doing, and got to keep their offense on the sideline and move the ball down the field. Because I think with this offense, as we see, if we get positive plays, it doesn't matter if it's 2 or 3 yards, they hurry up and they rush back again, and they can sustain drive. But it seems like as soon as it's a negative play, it's a negative 1 yard, maybe it's a 5-yard penalty here, the offense just, I don't know where it goes. It seems like it's not the same, but I think we'll do a good job. He had a crowd behind him. I hope he played good. Not like they played the Georgia game, because I don't know what happened that game, but they're going to have to turn it up, especially the offensive side of the ball, because we put our defense in, situation where they just can't keep stopping people. You can't keep going 3 and out, or, our offense will get a couple of yards on our defense and they make them punt. Eventually they're going to break down. And I think that's what happened to Georgia game. We can't afford to do that against Alabama.
Well, this Tiger defense is not disappointed this season, and I know they'll be fired up to play this week. So how can they slow down this scoring machine of Alabama's offense?
It's going to start our D-line. Our D-line got to continue to do what they've been doing all season, getting pressure on quarterbacks, making them feel uncomfortable. Our secondary, when they get chances, they got to make plays. We got to create turnovers to help our offense. And they've been doing a real good job with it. I'm a big defensive guy, so, of course, I watch everything they do. I think Coach Steele and the defensive staff do a great job of having those guys prepared every week. Every loss that we had, the defense has done their job. Like I said, you're going to break down eventually if you stay out there all day, and that's what happens. But we can't complain nothing about the way the defense has played, and I think they got to continue to do that for one more game, well, especially against Alabama.
Well, like you said earlier, this game can end coaches' careers, and certainly not all fans, but some have been disappointed with some of the decisions made by Gus Malzahn this year. The AD has came out this week standing behind Gus because there's been some rumors going around that maybe his job was on the line for this game, but the AD has rejected all that, said they stand behind Gus and think that he'll be the coach going on in the future. But do you think the outcome of this game could maybe weaken that stance if it doesn't go Auburn's way, or even strengthen it if it does?
Tough answer, but I would say not to go against what Alan Green done, because I have had conversations with him. I think he's a good AD. I also think y'all know how college football go, and when you got the guys that paying all the money, all the boosters that's putting up so much money, millions to these schools every year, they got a lot to say so too. So as an AD, anybody that's in that power, that's what you have to say. I don't know how true it is, but we'll see. But I think the outcome of this game gonna have a lot to do with that, because not just because of this year. I think people have been kind of fed up with Gus the last 2 years, and hopefully I wish that he continues to be there. I don't wish nobody getting fired, unless it's just really a disaster. But I think we got some good recruits coming in. I think we got a good young quarterback that we can rally behind. I think we got a good defense. I know some of the D linemen we gone, but that we can change this thing around. So hopefully we can put up a good performance against Alabama, get the win, that we don't have to have the discussion about him getting fired or not. But I will say, if it looks ugly, regardless of what he says, them boosters are going to be fed up with that, and you never know the outcome. I think, they owe him 20-something, maybe close to $30 million, so that may be a factor in, why they so strong about him being here next year, because that's a big hit to pay out somebody. But who knows, man? I'll be cheering for them. Hopefully they can go out and perform well and surprise people and get the victory.
So, yeah, if the Tigers pull off the upset this week, how do you think this team should be remembered?
This year, man. I don't know. This y'all asking me some tough questions. I don't know.
It's been a little disappointing up to this point, but
I'm so disappointed in some of the things that they show, especially on the offensive side of the ball, because I thought they were going to be way better than they were. I'm extremely proud of the defense and the way they've been playing consistently all year. I don't know how we'll be remembered this game. It'll probably be remembered just this game here if we pull out the victory, because throughout the season, I mean, when we played the top teams besides Oregon, that's the first game, so that can go either way. It wasn't good. We lost to all the top teams that we played so far this year. So, but we can take some positive, like I said, from the quarterback. We got a young quarterback. We got I think some good recruits coming in that I have seen. So I think that's, something that we can stand on for the future. But just for this season, had so many great expectations, and I think we let a lot of people down, especially our fan base. So, I mean, hopefully this game can give us something to remember, being that it's Iron Bowl, being that it's so big for this state, and we can forget about the losses that we had during the season.
Yeah, I will say I hope that the defense is remembered, because I mean they've been remarkable this year. So
right, and that kind of the way the record is kind of, you kind of get lost in just Auburn as a whole being just an okay team, not a good team, not a bad team, just an okay team when you got a record like we got. But that kind of overshadows what the defense be doing. But like I said, I watch them all the time. I'm proud of those guys and what they do and how they perform each and every week. No matter whatever the offense doing, no matter what the score is, they still perform. And I think we should, they should be looked at and given credit for what they've been doing the whole year.
Well, finally, what potential teams would you like to see Auburn face in the postseason bowl game? Any specific matchups?
I haven't been watching. If I can find out what team would they possibly play, and then I would have a better answer to, who I would think I would like to see them face.
Yeah.
Because looking at it now, we somewhere around 15, 16 ranked.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how the bowl lineups go, or what teams can go to what bowls that we would possibly play. So I have to look at that. Then I can have a better idea of who I would like to see us face. Because the way Oregon lost, and I think they're going to drop probably close to where we at.
Mm-hmm.
that would be a good matchup to see us play them again. Now it's not the first game of the season, so both teams have got a lot of big games under their belt, and that'll be a good game to see. Us play. I don't want to see us play Memphis and no Oklahoma State or no Cincinnati and no teams like that. But I think Oregon would be a good matchup for us to see. We're gonna line up against them and play again.
Oregon would be getting some of their wide receivers back, so
right. So that'll be
that would be interesting.
That'll be a different outlook. So
yeah, a couple of the popular ones I've seen is some people they're saying that there's a good chance that Auburn may end up playing either Michigan or Notre Dame. I think either one of those would make great games too.
I think those would be great matchups to see us play them. That'd be good, especially Coach Harbaugh. That was my San Francisco's coach. So if I go to the bowl game, it'd be a good chance to see him out there again too. So those three teams right there would be great matchups for us.
All right. Well, thank you again, Carlos. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Oh, no problem, man. Anytime y'all need me, just call.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man.
All right, you welcome.
Take care.
All right, y'all too.
All right, so we heard Carlos's thoughts on Gus and if he is coaching for his job. What do you guys think? If he loses, is he fired?
No.
I don't know. It depends on how bad the loss is. If it's a blowout, it's hard to keep him with pressure mounting from the fans, and and the fact if he gets blown out and they don't even have Tua, I mean that just kind of says what the heck are you doing? You can't even make it a close game without their star player, which he changes the whole framework of the offense. That would really frustrate me if we got blown out.
They can lose out, and they're still going to be ranked just because of the schedule. And it's $27 million.
I don't know if they lose out. I mean, if they lose tomorrow, Saturday, and they also lose a bowl game,
they'll have 5 losses with the best record. I don't know. If they lose
tomorrow,
tomorrow, they'll still be ranked. They'll be low, but they'll still be ranked.
We won't be
maybe
ranked
not if they lose a bowl game, but still.
They're already at 15. Yeah, if they just lose Saturday, I think they're still ranked. But if they lose the bowl game too, I don't think so.
Okay, well, either way, they're going to have 4 losses, and they're going to play someone really bad. They should be able to beat whoever they're playing in a bowl game. So
we've seen how that's went with Gus and before.
Yeah. If he loses to Alabama and then a bowl game to a nobody, he might be gone.
He'll be
gone. But at that point, is it too late?
If he pulls out a bowl game and loses to Alabama, it's $27 million, and they're going to finish ranked. So
I don't know. It just depends on.
They won't fire him. They're okay with they're too caught up in the mediocrity.
Yeah, and we're too caught up in everybody else because we're getting LED lights too. So there goes $4 million we could be using on his buyout.
Well, the argument I've heard for those is that the old stadium lights have went out, and there's no point, and there was an LED, and there's no point in replacing them. That's what I've heard.
Okay, whatever.
Because I said it'd be like a couple thousand to replace all those lights, anyways.
I don't really want them, so.
We're getting them. I feel like they just want them. That's why they're getting them. Whatever they say.
They saw Alabama and Georgia like, oh, we would love to be like them. So, but I think it's tough. There's no way they'd keep him if he lost Alabama and a bowl game.
I think if he loses, he's gone. I think.
Even Alabama. Yeah, I think the boosters will be willing.
If they haven't fired him yet after the stuff, he's.
They fired the guy that gave him the contract. I think they'll fire him.
Yeah, they won't.
Could be wrong. What do I know? But we'll see.
I'll be pleasantly surprised if they fire him.
I hate to say this, but if he does lose, let's hope he gets fired.
Justin's calling for the man's job. Get him out of there.
I mean, this Alabama game is a 50-50 game. It just depends on how he loses.
Yeah. Well, how about we switch gears and look at everything from Alabama's perspective. So, like we said, this is a must-win if Alabama wants to find a way into the playoffs. It won't definitely get them in, but it will help for sure. So, Aaron, what about this matchup do you like for Alabama?
Do I like? Our wide receivers, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to like?
Najee Harris.
Our defense is
Yeah,
awful.
I like Najee, but I don't like it against that front seven.
Yeah, I don't like Najee.
Well, I like
against our
him
front
against
seven.
I don't like that offensive line against it.
Yeah, that's the real. Yeah, just we're gonna. If we lose it, it'll be up front on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. I'll tell you,
they can't establish a running game, or we lose.
Well,
and
hey, the good thing
we have to establish a running game to help Mac out.
The good thing for y'all is our O-line isn't that good either. So
yeah, they're pretty close. I think Alabama's is a little bit better, but it's very close.
Yeah, but LSU ran for how many yards against us? So against somebody nobody ever heard of or something to do with their running back. I don't know. All I'm saying is I'm not very. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying he was very underrated until that game.
Yeah, because
Yeah, he's not Leonard Fournette.
No.
I would
he's not used like Fournette
either. Just given his history.
Well, I think, and this is a little strange to hear me say or hear anyone say, but I think I actually kind of like the special teams matchup a little bit. Not kicking, obviously, but Alabama's done actually pretty well with returns,
like punt returns and everything. So,
yeah.
I will say, going
especially
for us,
Waddle.
Sippos, our punter's been really good this year too. So
that is true. Yeah.
It'll come down to special teams. I'm not surprised. It'll come down to our kickers. And I hate to say that, but it will.
I don't think either fan base wants that.
No.
Well, how do you guys expect Mac Jones to handle the pressure? He's going to be loud and rowdy, and he's going to get hit a few times. What do you guys think?
I think he'll just manage the game, and I think he will 100% make a very big mistake just because Auburn has nothing to lose. They're going to be pulling anything they can out of the hat. Anything they have, they're going to throw at him, and he's going to see stuff that they didn't show all year on film, and he's 100% going to make a couple really, really bad mistakes. But overall, I think he'll manage the game, and just like the previous guys did with all those before him, before Tua and Jalen, and just manage the game. And I think he'll, hopefully, be able to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a struggle, but they'll have a good game plan. Alabama will for Mac Jones. Just make it as easy as they can on him. I mean, with how talented your wide receivers are, he'll just be throwing slants and bubble screens. Make it
that's
as
one
easy
thing
as...
I don't want them to get too caught up in. Though, I still want them to let him air it out.
Well, they should,
and
but
give them that one-on-one. I think that's one thing they need to focus on
get
more
started.
I think that's one thing they need to focus on more than just getting Mac easy throws is just getting them in man and getting those wide receivers one-on-one and giving them a chance.
That's the good thing, too, for y'all is Auburn likes to play man. So, and that's what worries me.
But, we didn't see that last week, and they were playing Western Carolina. We didn't see him really air it out or get any deep passes. I don't know if maybe they were just wanting to save it, or maybe they don't have confidence in him.
He still threw for, 270 yards? He didn't even air it out.
Yeah, well...
Yeah. There was a few times he did, but it wasn't. I wish they would have done it a lot more. I wish they would have used that as a much more of a practice, like a live practice drill instead of let's just get this win and go home. Like, I wish they would have. Like I told you, I would have took every formation and every major pass play. I would have looked at my tendencies, and I would have just gone down the list with Mac. And I would have let him throw it every. Just about every play. Like I don't care if it was what it was, what the situation was. I would have just went down my playbook and let him throw it, let him see it live. But we'll find out how he does.
Do you think this offensive line can keep him safe for the entire game?
That's I think the biggest part of it is the line on both sides. Can we stop their run and can we keep him safe, give him enough time to correct his mistakes, because he's gonna make some. It's just he can't make them and then also not have time to correct them, feel pressured the next play after making a mistake and get worried and make another one because he's pressured. Like, we really gotta, protection is gonna be a real key.
I would love another sack game, like the one from 2005. That would be beautiful if we could somehow just
honk if you sack Brody.
Yeah, I mean,
honk if you sack Mac.
Old
Sack Jones is what they'll be saying on Twitter, just like Bo Picks if he takes a lot of them. Can't wait for that. Well, what does this Alabama defense need to do?
Stop the run.
Yeah, stop the run and make Bo beat you through the air.
And that won't happen. So,
I think stopping the run's the main thing, and then maybe just make Bo doubt himself a little bit.
Yeah,
get in his head a little bit. Maybe bat a couple passes down, pick one off if you can. I think would go a long way.
Yeah, and I think what's important, I didn't really think about this. I think we need to use a little more of the read. Get Bo some running plays, let him read.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
that would really help him out and make him feel more comfortable. And then some throws would start opening up. So I think that would be key too for Auburn.
Yeah, got to keep the RPOs to a minimum.
And see, that's a great thing for Auburn's defense too, because knowing Mac Jones, he's not moving anywhere. He's going to be in the pocket the whole game.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like we said, we talked to former Alabama receiver Chad Key. So I will go ahead and put this right here.
We're here with former Alabama receiver Chad Key, who played from 1991 to 95 and was part of that 92 national championship team. Chad, it's great to have you on.
Hey, Nick, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good.
Well, good to hear. Well, we got a big one coming up this week, the Iron Bowl. That's a one you know all too well. We're just going to run through some questions real quick we got for you. But what are some obstacles playing at Jordan-Hare?
Man, the sun. I'm gonna tell you that's the first thing that pops to my mind is if you'll notice, and I was talking about this last week. I can't remember if it was the Georgia game or whatnot. I would have to say the sun, and then obviously the crowd noise. But when you play an evening game, if Auburn, it would benefit Auburn if they would, instead of putting that jumbotron down there, if they would have enclosed the end zone and blocked the sun, because from a wide receiver's viewpoint, when the sun was dropping, and man, I would run down and hit a crossing route and look back, and I would almost just be praying that I wasn't open, because it was brutal. And some of those guys just, catching punts and returning kicks, looking into that end zone, it's tough.
Yeah.
But no, beyond that, man, it's the atmosphere. Because I can remember, just like it was yesterday, standing on the sidelines, and people love to ask me what's the toughest venue or what was the most fun place to play. And, that's a tough question to answer. You got Neyland up there on Tennessee River. It's beautiful in the fall. And you got Death Valley, with a bunch of inebriated Cajuns on a Saturday night. And but Auburn, man, it was just, it gets to a point to where it's so loud that, you'll be on the sidelines and somebody standing next to you, you just have to yell at the top of your lungs, for them to be able to hear you. And obviously that comes into play. It's like none other, man. It's the Iron Bowl.
Well, going back to your college days, what was it like being a part of that national championship squad?
Well, just to sum it up, it was a dream come true. I was a redshirt freshman the year we won it. And really, my recruiting class in '92, the guys that I came in with, the David Palmers, the Damian Jeffries, Curtis Browns, and I can go down the list 8 or 10 more. We were really the class that
was projected that, maybe by the time we get to be juniors and seniors that we would be in contention. And so, when I got there in 91, but then 92, I got redshirted in 91 and 92 when we won it. We went 11-1 in 91, and then we won it in 92. It's almost just kind of like, I didn't know anything different. And that was like, it was awesome. We won it all, man. We bought into Coach's philosophy of, we run the ball, we stop the run, we be in the plus and the giveaway takeaways, and we're going to win. Whether it be 10-7 or 13 to 6 or whatever, these nail biters when you got Spurrier, running the fun and gun, scoring 45 a week. We did it. We upset Miami, and so just growing up, an hour away from Tuscaloosa, and every Saturday listening to Bama games and watching, the Bear Bryant show on Sunday afternoon after church, Golden Flake and Coca-Cola. And that was, it was just a dream that I was just tremendously blessed to have the opportunity just to go and be a part of that program. It was awesome. And then, here 30 years later, just to be privileged to, to have a ring on my finger that, incidentally, it's about the same size as these kids now. My son's on his little travel ball baseball team, and they go play on the weekend and win a tournament. His ring is bigger than mine.
That's funny.
But I mean, there's something special. I don't wear my ring a lot, but when I put it on, and people, when I go places and they love to, look at it, and it just kind of be a showpiece, and ask me what it was like to be a part of something like that. And it's, it's just something that nobody can ever take away.
Yeah.
And I've just, the ring was just, heck, man, it's just icing on the cake. Everything that I learned and experienced just from being with those guys and those coaches, that's what I hold dear and near to my heart, that I'll carry with me to my grave. So it was cool, man.
What was it like playing for Gene Stallings?
Coach, man, Coach was rough. He's old school, and he was the CEO, and it's, I talk with him. I try to call him, every other month or so, just to check in with him, make sure he's doing okay. He's a wonderful, caring, loving man. He's all the time, every time it's the same time. Chad, how you doing? How's Crystal? How's the kids? And hey, if there's ever anything I can do for you, you just let me know. And so he's a very giving man. Learned a lot, obviously, by the way he treated John Mark. And John Mark was around the facility every day. And so, I think, that's the thing, people that kind of study Clemson and Dabo a little bit closely is they have a special needs person that works, kind of on their equipment staff. And Dabo's trying to implement some of the same things that he learned from Coach Stallings, about there's more to life than football and the life lessons that you learn from him. Mm-hmm. And but let me tell you, the last thing I'll say about Coach is he ran the show, and I mean, probably one of the funniest, and I've got probably 50 of them, but one of the funniest ones is when we flew to D.C. after we won the championship and to meet President Clinton, and we were standing on the White House lawn, and we'd been out there a little over 30 minutes, and President Clinton was late getting out there, and the dog if Coach Stallings didn't go over to the Secret Service, and he told him, he said, you go in there and you tell President Clinton that if he's not out here in 15 minutes, we're getting back on that plane and we're flying back to Tuscaloosa. Our time is just as precious as his is.
Oh, wow.
And Clinton was notorious for being late, and sure enough, about 5-10 minutes, here come, out the door, here comes President Clinton. And so that's just Coach, man.
Well, talking about Clemson, you would have went to Alabama the same time as Dabo, and y'all were part of that '92 championship team.
Yeah.
Did you have a relationship with Dabo?
Yeah, we were, and still are. We're close friends, and he's. It seems like every week, man, somebody's always asking me. The two questions are, number one is, hey, is that Dabo guy? Is he really legit? Is he what he appears to be? And then number two is, if and when Coach Saban leaves, is he coming back? And so I get asked that a ton. And Dad was just, it's our stories are weird because he was just a little bit ahead of me. And when he left, had no aspirations of coaching, and got into commercial real estate, and then actually came back about a year after. And so he was kind of he wasn't an on-the-field graduate assistant, but he was, back in the day, what they would do was we just had two of those positions. Coach Stallings would get you in grad school, and he would let you be a weight room GA, but he'd be over there with us, with the receivers, because he was a receiver, and Coach McCorvey, and so they talked him into doing the GA thing and the coaching, and he tried it and hung in there. And then I kind of did the same thing when things didn't work out with the Cowboys with me and Coach Stallings, Coach McCorvey both thought that I'd be a good coach, and so I actually got in grad school and did it for a semester, and my heart was just never really in it. And so after a semester, I was just like, man, it was one of the hardest things I ever did was go tell Coach, Coach, I really appreciate the opportunity, but just playing and coaching is two different things, and I just really don't want to do this, for a full-time profession. But it's really neat with, the stage of my life now. I get to kind of live, vicariously through these guys, with Dab up in Clemson and Pruitt at Tennessee. I was up in Knoxville last week with those guys, Will Friend and Kevin Shearer, some guys on his staff that I played with, and Freddie Kitchens in Cleveland, and with all my guys that I played with that are around and in coaching and stuff. That's what it's kind of, it makes it fun to me, because a couple of weeks back, I'm watching the Bama the Bama Tennessee, and Jeremy's, I got a good drive going, and really going into the game, their attitude was like, hey, we're overmatched, Nick's number one, they got those, lights and all that, and but we're just gonna give it our best shot. And then they went down there, and they were kind of, toe to toe there for a while, and I was kind of pulling for him, and it's just, I guess it's like I was telling my wife, she's sitting there and she's like, well, Chad, you played at Bama. What? How are you? And I'm just like, maybe you just wouldn't understand. I said, because, these are the guys that I played with, blood, sweat, and tears, trenches, the whole nines, and then, it's personal, and they're like your brothers, and you want them to do well, and so it's fun.
Of course, Tua is out for the season due to an unfortunate hip injury. How do you think his absence affects the offense?
would have to answer that just based off of last Saturday's showing, and it's tough to answer, man, because, obviously, it wasn't, I guess, not to take, the credit away from who we beat, but, the level of competition, I think Coach Saban and I think everybody would have loved to seen Mac play, even though he played him, as many reps and snaps as he possibly could to get him ready for this week. Man, that's a tough question to answer because, I already know going into Saturday that, Kevin Steele, defense coordinator at Auburn, is, he's going to be throwing everything in the kitchen sink at Mac to try to confuse him, try to give him some different looks, and then plus, even besides that, I mean, you're going against a defense that is eerily similar to Clemson's defense last year. With their D-line, I mean, they're just, those guys are, a couple of those guys are just beasts, man. They're just so big and so strong, and they go sideline to sideline. And, they've given Malzahn, I mean, I don't know how many 3-and-outs this year. And so, they're, statistically, obviously, everybody knows they're one of the best defenses in the nation. And so, everybody obviously would feel more comfortable, I think, if 13 was under center, just for who he is and for what he brings, not only from a physical standpoint, but from a leadership standpoint and poise and charisma. And so it was a huge loss when he went down. And that's what kind of tipped the scales, man, as to going into this particular week. And this Iron Bowl is it's going to make it more interesting,
Oh, yeah, it is.
But, every year, that's the thing, is the dynamics are a little bit different. And, it's kind of like Auburn's just all year long been trying to find their identity. And, when they dropped one in Gainesville, things were looking bad, but then, they bounced back. They have a pretty good showing in Baton Rouge, and then they eventually come back and give Georgia a pretty good game. And I know the Auburn people are beyond frustrated with Gus's offense and ready for him to put some points on the board. And then, that's just kind of the thing about this year's Iron Bowl is, Bama's defense. Unusually we're usually very deep. Aside from 2 years ago, when we were playing here at Auburn and they beat us, and I mean, truth be told, the reason that they beat us is we had 2 or 3 linebackers out. They were injured.
Yeah.
And and when we got them back healthy, we made a run and ended up winning the national championship. So, but for that one particular game, we were injured and we weren't at our best. And then I don't really feel like this year our defense, losing our Mike linebacker right before the season starts, man. And he's the quarterback of the defense, and he's a high-level NFL guy. And I think as the year has gone along, our defense has gotten better, but we're not that, quote, normal Bama defense. I think that's where Auburn has the edge this year defensively. And then on offense, I think Gus and them are still trying to, like I said, even though Nix is putting up the numbers, the passing yards, they're just not putting a lot of points on the board. But if Alabama offensively can just utilize the talent we've got at wideout, and then Matt can make good decisions, manage the game. And I know people, A.J. McCarron and McElroy and all those, they hated that term, but that's what what Coach Saban sometimes tries to do is he puts you in situations where you don't lose the game. Is they don't look to you to make plays to win it. And I think if the surrounding 10 guys on offense can step their game up a little bit and help Mac out, that's the best way that they're going to have a chance, to pull this one out.
Well, thank you, Chad, for talking to us. We really appreciate it.
Well, it's no problem, guys. I've enjoyed visiting with you, and it's brought back a lot of good memories. Every time this week rolls around, every year it does. It stirs up some old emotions, and I feel like I ought to be doing push-ups or something, man, getting ready for Saturday. But I know, regardless, it's fun, and that's kind of the beauty of it. The last thing I kind of want to throw in there, because I was thinking about before you guys called, is I do want to touch on this real quick, because I felt like God blessed me with this opportunity of playing at Alabama and people listening to me, I'm just one man, but I'm just, when you were asking me about Coach Stallings, and I kind of learned from him that learned from Coach Stallings, and I was taught that you need to win with class and you need to lose with class, and I know the faithful, and I know a lot of them don't like it when I say this, but I've never believed that you don't need to crank up a band and we just beat the hell out of you and all this other kind of stuff, and then it's kind of escalated last year. The Dixieland Delight stuff, and they didn't play it for a while, and Miss Saban, told everybody if they behaved, we'd play it again. And so it's a fun rivalry, it really is, but I think this is also a really good opportunity for everybody to do a good self-check and a good gut check on acting the way that they would want to be treated. And I know a lot of people, this is where they won't listen and they just roll their eyes. But, it's like I talked with the AD and I said, I got 4 kids. And I said, when I bring them to the game and they start this chant up and they look at me and they ask me, Daddy, are they saying what I think they're saying? And it's kind of gotten out of hand. And, but that's, like I said, that's just my 2 cents, and I'm just an old guy that played on the 92 national championship 10 years ago.
Well, I think a lot of people do feel the same way, and I think that maybe everybody should take some time to remind themselves it is just a football game at the end of the day.
It is. It
Just
really
some,
is.
just some college students trying to
I'm
have some
46,
fun.
and I've seen 46 of these things, and good Lord willing, the sun's gonna come up Sunday morning.
Absolutely. Well, again, we appreciate it. We hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'd love to have you on again sometime.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you having me on, guys.
Appreciate
Y'all
it. It's a
have
pleasure.
happy Thanksgiving yourselves.
All right. We'll see you.
Take care.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, so Chad touched on it a little bit right there at the end. Is a win enough for the playoff committee to put Alabama in, or does it need to be a thumping win of Auburn? So if they win by 1 point, they get
I
in.
think. Well, are we basing this on if Georgia loses to LSU?
Yes, we're assuming Georgia loses to LSU, and it's between
Georgia
Alabama
loses
and Utah.
to LSU, then the only thing that would be keeping us out, in my opinion, is, I think Big 12. In my opinion, I know they have Utah up there, but sure.
I think if
surely
Utah,
they won't put Utah in there.
well, I think if Utah thumps Oregon, they
Just
might be
don't
like,
see it happening.
I'm telling you, they want to make it to where they can throw a Pac-12 or Big 12 team in there.
If a Pac-12 makes it in there, I hope they get beat by 140. And
They might to Ohio State or LSU, whoever
yes,
finishes
I hope
number
they
1.
do.
Utah
I hope
against
it's-
Ohio
I hope
State
they-
probably will.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, if
Utah's
if
not
Utah
gonna
plays
score.
Ohio State, oh my gosh, that would
They'll
be the
get shut
only
out.
time in my life. I have nothing against Utah. I just think they're overrated, and it's
Yeah.
infuriating.
No, I agree.
I mean, they could prove me wrong. They could prove me wrong, which is fine. I want them to prove me wrong. But right now, they've proven that all they can do is lose to LSU. They haven't proven they've beat anybody. Not a single soul.
I don't think. I think they're overrated. I think people do like them a little too much, but I don't think I'd drop them down any. I think I'd keep them about.
I would definitely drop them from 6 right now. They would not be my number 16.
So you'd have Oklahoma ahead of Utah?
No, not necessarily. I would have to pull it. Where's my phone at?
Minnesota's at 8.
Yeah, I mean, I would put Minnesota above them. Their only loss is to
I think they're about the same
Iowa,
as
which is only,
I said I think they're about the same as Minnesota. They're about the
same.
Well, here's the thing.
I would put Minnesota above them because Minnesota has beat a top 10 team, and they've only lost to another ranked team who has beat 2 other top 10 teams.
Well, I mean, think about it, though. I was ranked around the same spot USC is.
Yeah, but USC shouldn't be ranked, so we can just go ahead and throw that out there.
Okay.
They shouldn't be. They have 4 losses, and they beat nobody except for Utah, which is
they beat the number
anybody.
6 team, so.
But we all agree that
number 6.
If they barely beat Auburn, it's going to be very close if they get in or not.
I think if Utah thumps Oregon, they're going to put Utah in. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
because
see that also.
The way this committee is they don't care about a win or a loss. They care about what the win or loss looks like, which I don't think that should matter. I think a win is a win, and it shouldn't matter how the win comes about. But they love
So with
the
that
eye
philosophy,
test.
though, where would you put Baylor?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Like,
Well, Baylor
by
has
that,
the
Baylor
one loss.
should be a lot higher.
They should be because now.
Sorry
Yeah,
if you
so
can
what-
hear me. I'm just having to plug my computer in before it dies while we're recording.
Yeah, Baylor should be higher, but the problem is their schedule doesn't help them.
Yeah, well, Utah's doesn't either, but they're number 6 for some reason.
I'll have to look at and see. I mean, who has Utah beat? Anybody?
No one. No one.
Let's see. I'll pull that up.
I am so sorry. I'm sure this is all in the mic.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just had to plug it up. It was on like 5%. It just popped up and alerted me.
So the only ranked team Utah has beat is when Arizona State was ranked.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, guess how that turned out.
Yeah, and they beat. Of course, you can't say much about Washington this year because they're 5 and. Well, I don't know
You
what-
can't say anything about anyone they've played. They're awful.
So I mean, like I said, I haven't really.
I don't
understood.
think USC should be ranked, which would make their loss look even worse. But
I haven't understood the committees.
Even if you
thinking.
want to say that USC should be ranked, Utah lost to the only ranked team that they played then. So
Yeah. Like I said, I don't understand the committee's rankings this year. I mean, Ohio State, I don't understand dropping LSU.
I called that too. Nick didn't believe me.
Yeah,
I
I
knew it
really
was-
didn't. Because of the
You owe
way
me
Ohio
$1.
State looked, I got it in my car. I'll give it to you. But the way that Ohio State looked last Saturday, I didn't think this would be the week that they jumped. I was a little surprised that they did.
Well,
I knew
what
they
bothers-
would. The
yeah.
first big game they play, I knew the committee. The committee loved them.
Yeah, they're slobbering all over them. So it's like, oh, Ohio State. Oh, we love them. Oh.
I knew they would,
the voices
I knew
are
they
back.
would jump them.
But see, but that frustrates me because you have an LSU team as number 1, and they haven't looked. I mean, they win their game. Why in the world would you drop somebody for winning a game?
Yeah, I don't
think
agree with it.
I talked about this earlier, and the only reason I halfway agree, I still wouldn't have dropped them yet. But if later, I probably would by the time the first playoff game comes around. Like by the time the last
Maybe
rankings
if
come
Ohio
out.
State soundly beats Michigan, something like that.
Yeah, then I probably would, and here's why. Just because their defense, like when they gave up a ton of yards to Ole Miss,
Well,
and
see,
then
but that's
I've
what
heard the
bothers
stat going around is only one team since the BCS era has ever won a national championship with a defense that wasn't ranked in the top 25.
Auburn.
Yeah, and that was Auburn with Cam Newton.
Yeah. But see, here's what bothers me, though. And someone else was talking about this, too. Why should the way a defense look drop a team when you're winning the game? Who cares how you win the game? If you win the game, you win it. It
No,
doesn't.
I get it, but it's
it
just the
shouldn't
fact
matter.
that it was Ole Miss. So
I know, but I mean, they gave
What
up
if that was
38.
Ohio State? How would, you know?
I don't know how
They probably
view that.
wouldn't be winning the game.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, it shouldn't matter. If you win the game, you win it. That's why, I hate that factors in to the playoff ranking. I mean, say Alabama does barely beat Auburn. But, I mean, they beat Auburn in Jordan Hare with a backup quarterback.
Yeah, I think it should matter.
I don't know.
Well, let's get into final predictions here. Who wants to throw out their score guess first?
Oh, gosh.
I haven't even thought of it.
I haven't either.
This is tough. This is tough because I'm 50-50, so I think... Okay, I'm going to go Auburn will win on a last-second field goal.
Wow. It's going to happen again?
24.
History's going to repeat?
No, Auburn's going to win. They're going to kick a game-winning field goal. They're going to win 24-21.
Oh, I thought you meant there's going to be another kick six.
Oh, no.
That's a bold prediction.
No, they're going to win on it.
Bring that up.
Yeah, we almost went the whole episode.
Thank you for bringing that up, Nick.
I'm going to cut my.
So what was that
wrist
score?
long
Sorry, Justin.
No, Auburn's going to win on a game-winning field goal.
Okay.
By Carlson, and it's going to be 24-21.
24-21 Auburn.
I really will cut my wrists long ways.
Justin, I'm proud of you for picking your team in the game that matters the most. Our Auburn fans are going to be quite pleased that you picked.
Well,
Auburn.
since we're playing Alabama, I cannot pick Alabama. So.
Fair enough. Aaron, you got a score for us? You want me to go first?
Mm-hmm. You go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to say it's close, like you said, but I think it's going to be. I'm going to say 32-17 Alabama.
Wow. Okay.
I was going to say 27-17.
I know that sounds bad. I think one of those scores come late. So to make it look better than it was.
I don't think has Auburn even given up over 24 points this season.
I think they're maybe the average is no. I think it's 24 is the max. Is the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say 27-17, but still, I don't know that we could score that much. Like, I know we can, but LSU didn't score that much.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see, but that's our scores. Justin,
wait, Aaron,
for Carlson with a game-winning field goal, 24-21.
Aaron, what'd you say your score was?
I think I'm going to go with 27-17.
27-17 for Aaron, and I'm going 32-17 with a late score to make that score look a little better.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think that's the episode, guys. Justin, why don't you bring us home, man?
All right, let me pull up the list Nick has sent me so we don't go completely off track. All right, so thank you for listening to this. Okay. Well, that was a great way to start that.
I was trying to just explain what that noise was to the mic. That was my big toe.
You hit your toe on the mic?
No, not the mic. The piece of furniture.
All
right, so thank you to everyone listening. I know this is a bonus episode. You might have a hard time sitting down, being able to listen to it. You know, pretty busy week, Thanksgiving. You're fixing a lot of food. But thank you for listening. We
are thankful for you.
Yes, we are very thankful. It means a lot to us.
I will kill a turkey in your honor.
Yes. Thank you to our sponsors, which I have no idea who are.
Metal Central.
Of course. I mean, I should just go ahead and say thank you, Metal Central, every time because they sponsored the whole season. And I don't know how Nick tricked you into giving us money like that, but thank you.
Yes, you do a great job out in Metal Central, and
yes,
we really appreciate it.
Job.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so you can find us on thegamemanagers.com.
Nice.
It's a great way to find articles from Nick. He does a great job writing the articles. I mean, you should read them sometimes. You could easily access the podcast. All you got to do is click right on it. Boom. You don't need Spotify. You don't need any kind of listening app.
Nope, don't need to log in. It's just right there for you.
You just click it right there. And you can go look at our team photo. It's great. It's pretty funny.
I want to get us all together and take a real team photo.
I like
we
that
probably
one.
should. I do like that one. We should leave that one on there too.
Yeah,
we should get action. I don't know if I feel comfortable having my photo on there.
What if it was a Thanksgiving themed and we had you dress up as a little turkey?
Okay, you know what? We're not
that's a little much. Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Right. We can put your Christmas one on there with your onesie y'all take every year.
Yeah, we can all do one.
Gosh, oh no. All right, so you can find us on social media. We're at the Game Managers Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can also email us at thegamemanagerspod@gmail.com.
Yes.
We would love to have your emails. If you have any questions, we can answer them on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be really fun. You'd be like, wow, that was my question I sent in. And it'd make us feel very good, that you're actually listening and you care about us by sending in a question.
And we will read it out no matter what it says.
Yes, if it says...
We may have to bleep out some stuff, but we will...
Yeah, if it says, come to me, Daddy, we'll still bleep it out.
Yeah. we'll let Justin read it. Just like that fan mail he got one day with that inappropriate photo of that woman.
Oh, yeah. That was very unexpected and very gross. So please don't.
And very appreciated. That's what he meant.
It was not appreciated at all. You can find us on Patreon too. Oh, we got great videos of me and Aaron, me and Nick playing video games.
Yes, we're gonna have a new one up next week. So be looking
of what?
I don't know if I'm gonna do the hockey or the baseball one, but we're gonna put one of them out next week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's so fun to watch us play games and listen to us talk about them.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Also, that's at TGM Pod on Twitter and stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, I did say that. Thank you for going over it again. But
you said the Game Managers Pod at TGM Pod.
Okay, well, it's the same thing.
Wow.
So you could subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Don't forget about that. I know we don't talk about YouTube as much, because it's like, it's kind of forgotten. We don't really care about it much.
We're going to get into that a lot more in the off season.
Yeah, we'll have some good content on YouTube, so look out for that. If you're a big YouTube person, I would subscribe right now because there's some good stuff coming out for basketball. Auburn just won their in-season tournament tonight.
Yeah.
They are 7-0 for the first time since, I think, 2002.
Yeah.
So,
I can't wait to talk about basketball in more depth.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Auburn's a basketball team now. It's a basketball school. So, forget about football. It's basketball season, baby. All right. Leave a nice review if you like the show. If you leave a nice review, maybe we'll put you running for a prize. I don't know.
We'll read it out on the show, too.
Yeah, we'll read your review. I know we only have 3 reviews right now, but please, leave a review. If you do listen, just throw
do
a
it.
review.
Do it!
Yeah, just do it. Shirts on TeePublic. I will say I haven't worn one, but the one I felt on Nick, it was soft as a baby's bottom. So you need to get some of these shirts. They're beautiful. Mm-hmm. And the one he was wearing, it looked amazing. I'd say it made him look thick. I mean, nice and I don't want to say thick. I'd say it made him look
thick with 2 C's. Yeah.
It made you look
so many. I just have women coming out the wazoo. Nick, this shirt is so soft. It makes you look so good.
It made you look
Can
nice.
I have it? And I'll say, you sure can. Just go to tpublic.com/thegamemanagers and you can get your own.
That's right, yeah. It made you look good. Okay, giveaways. Make sure you like and comment on the giveaways because you can go in the running for trivia and for a prize, and you get a prize.
Yeah, this week it's going to be, we're getting in the holiday spirit. It's going to be some Christmas ornaments we're giving away.
I mean, who doesn't love Christmas stuff?
Yeah.
You need to comment and like these posts because it's beautiful things.
It's beautiful things.
I just want to point out that notice Nick didn't give anything away for Thanksgiving, so you draw your own conclusions.
I gave something away for Halloween.
Yeah, well,
we did
you're just
Halloween
digging a little
masks.
deeper about how you hate Thanksgiving.
Well, maybe I do.
Okay.
I think that I have all the bases covered there. I mean,
nice.
We love doing this. It's a pleasure having y'all listen to us.
Still a 10-minute outro with at least 2 edits, so
we're getting better with this.
I mean,
last what was it? Saturday we recorded. It was pretty bad. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was very off track. So if you did happen to listen through the whole episode, I'm sorry you had to do that. But if you just get to my part, you can just go ahead and end the show.
No, you gotta listen.
Now, if you're a first time listener, go ahead and listen. If not, just go ahead and end it. I mean, I've been blabbering for way too long now. I'll learn to make this short and sweet for y'all, where you can understand it. So, I'm still talking right now, and us Alabamians love to hear ourselves talk, apparently. So,
the Alabaster boys.
Yeah, Alabastards. Yeah.
That's the name of your fantasy team, by the way.
That is the name of my fantasy team. Yes.
All right.
And okay, so Nick, you have any final words?
Yes. I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving, even though I hate it. I hope everyone is safe for Black
Friday.
Friday.
Just embracing that now.
He said it, so.
I hope that everyone has a nice time watching the Iron Bowl, whether your team wins or not. And just remember, it's just a game, and the sun will rise Sunday morning. So that's all I got.
All right, Aaron.
I literally just thought of a question I wanted to ask for the podcast, but I'm going to save it because I want this to end. So, adios.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Come on.
Right.
Come on.
Adios.
Okay. War Eagle, anyways, have a great Thanksgiving. Great Thanksgiving. Great Thanksgiving. Great Thanksgiving. Great Thanksgiving. Great Thanksgiving.